All right, welcome back, everyone, and thank you for jumping on with us again for another great AMA here at Gollum's Gems. I know all of our sports fans will be excited as we welcome on Locker Token and the team behind it to get all the details we need before their upcoming launch. Before we dive in, $500 up for grabs in today's giveaway, with 4 lucky winners walking away with a $100 prize, and the best question at the end of the segment takes home $100 as well. If you're new to the show and want to qualify, it's super easy. Just make sure you're a member of both at Gollum's Gems and at Gollum's Gambles to be eligible, and jump into our guest Telegram on today's show if you haven't already, at LockerToken_chat. You can find the direct link right in the Gollum's Gems channel. As always, feel free to send me your questions via direct message. I'll do my best to ask them on your behalf. Let's get the team on, guys. Locker Token in the building. We have Dennis and Pat, it looks like. Let's see if we can get you guys unmuted. Hey, Dennis and Pat, if you are here, if you could raise your hand for me, I'll get you unmuted. Awesome. Dennis, I see you right there, man. I should have you unmuted. I see you, Pat. I got you. All right. I think that's, can you guys, are your mics working? Sometimes we have.
Yeah, good to have you guys.
Perfect. Welcome, guys. Is there anybody else that we're going to have on the show?
Yeah, there's going to be Justin Comment here joining in a second to raise his hand as well.
Okay.
But we can get started here. Pat and I started the project, and more than happy to introduce you and you guys the community. Much appreciated. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, no, super excited to have you on here. I'm a big sports fan myself, so obviously this is right in my wheelhouse. Was really excited to learn more and just kind of hear more about you guys. For everybody that hasn't had a chance to check it out yet, very innovative project. They're aiming to create a solution to pretty much blockchain in the sports industry, including some really cool features for players to create content as well. Kind of think Instagram from what I saw. Really excited to get a closer look, like I was saying, guys, especially considering the adoption within the sports industry so far. Major players signing on with big brands in the crypto space. Talk to me. I know you guys have a ton of experience on both sides of the field. Pat, I saw that you were the sports guy. Dennis, I saw that you were the crypto guy. So it looks like a match made in heaven. I guess you guys want to talk to me a little bit about how you guys found each other. This idea came to fruition, and how it all started, how the wheels started moving.
You want me to start, Dennis?
100% for sure.
Yeah. So, over a lifetime of being overseas, playing, coaching, and representing hockey players, we represent the majority of players that come from North America that play all over Europe, Denmark, Norway, Russia, Sweden, Finland, Italy, Germany, UK, every country. And just dealing with so many different banks, ways to move money, issues with money, currency losses, SWIFT codes being banned, IBANs being frozen, bank accounts being locked because they can't prove players' identities, and the numerous of issues that have arisen over the years, and then from the team side where they have to pay players before they enter the country because of tax reasons, just nightmare after nightmare that we've been dealing with. And when I kind of learned a little bit more about crypto, and I started getting involved and seeing the ease and how the transactions work on the blockchain and all this stuff, I just continued to get more excited and thought, how can this not be in pro sports? There's got to be an angle. And Dennis was getting involved with escrow, and we were talking about putting players' contracts in escrow where players would meet certain, bonus platforms or payment structures and be paid immediately without having to call, hey, where's my paycheck? How come I didn't get paid today? It would be already implemented on a smart contract. So when Dennis was doing all this, I met Dennis through a mutual friend back in, I think, September, and he was saying this would be amazing, and we kind of collaborated, and from there all these ideas continue to take off, and that's kind of how it got started.
Right, this is one thing I wanted to add here. When you were saying originally a lot of pro players, a lot of pro athletes are coming in, a lot of these players are usually paid to say those things, right? They're saying, here, we're going to give you a nice little chunk of coin and you're going to endorse it. But in our case, it's actually the other way around. We're providing a service, a product to the industry that was born out of the requirement, right? So Pat, as a pro agent, dealing with all these issues for decades, all of a sudden sees that blockchain technologies, can improve and eliminate all of this. So this product here really came out of a need from the industry to digitize itself and to take on the benefits of crypto. So it's not the traditional crypto project that has to get hyped and marketed, through athletes and ambassadors, but this actually comes from a desire of these players and these teams and agents like Pat to get a better way of dealing with, financial transactions and interactions, especially on a global scale. So this product right here serves a purpose.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, usually that's kind of the next thing that I go into is kind of like, what gap does it fill? But you guys are kind of innovating the space in a sense, because no one's really attacking the team aspect and the interactions between the team and players. It's more so just kind of like monetizing and barely bridging, the fan interactions that I've seen so far. So it looks like you guys are doing something really cool in the space. In terms of, I guess let's break it down by the seed funding and kind of the preparation before launch. Talk to me about like what you guys have done leading up to launch and how you guys have gotten the right type of investors to hold that bottom floor for us.
Yeah, 100%. So our approach right now is delivery, right? So we're not here banking on big hype, that's going to give us a short-term gain, but we're going to, build our growth on deliveries, right? Of having a working product coming out April 1st, of having pro teams and pro players, ready to use the app and start getting paid on it, start interacting with it and taking their first steps into crypto. So we're gonna build our floor in the sense of having constant deliveries. Yeah. So we have callers in place. We have influencers in our private groups. We have a strong alpha group. So a lot of crypto hype is going to be there, but we're not banking the project success on that. Yeah, that's going to, kick us off. But the real growth will come through all this real world adoption that we have lined up, with real players and real teams utilizing the benefits of crypto and integrating it in their existing business. So we're going to utilize the traditional crypto hype, but we're going to sustain ourselves through real deliveries and real integrations in the real world. So this is where our project differs, I guess, from a lot of other projects out there, that we are, having an immediate use case with a massive adoption on the horizon. We had a small private round of 60K, which was 8.8% of the total supply. It comes with 12 months vesting. So out of that private round, the people are getting 10% of their total supply or total token holdings on TGE. The rest is distributed bi-weekly over the next 12 months. So it's a very small amount. We really only did it to get ourselves started and get the right people in. There's some chance for callers to still join on some private allocation. So if there's people listening that have influence in the space, feel free to hit us up, and we're more than happy to get you in.
Awesome.
One of the
that
key
was a great
things I
segue
wanted to mention.
Oh yeah, go ahead,
Sorry,
Pat. Sorry.
Like one of the key things I wanted to talk about here, and I just was going to jump in earlier, was, it's just a matter of time as crypto adoption is starting to happen. We start to see it. Like right now, I'm in Europe. I've been traveling city to city, team to team, players to players, and people don't have any idea right now. Like it is so early. The infancy is beyond anyone on this chat's comprehension, because we kind of understand it, and everyone on here knows it way better than I do. So when I'm talking to these people and they have no idea, I'm just so enthused because I know we're so early in the adoption, and it's just a matter of time before players want to get paid in crypto. And just like you have a couple NBA players, a couple NFL players, but how are they doing it? I guarantee no pro sports team is going to use a retail app to pay their players. They're not going to Coinbase. They're not going to crypto.com. We're providing this pro platform for them to now say, hey, I want to get paid in crypto. No problem. Team has it. Upload, their fiat currency. Once it's in the blockchain, they're never going to have to worry about it again. It's movable. It's all whatever they want to be paid in, whether it's stable coins, Bitcoins, Ethereum, whatever it is that they want, they can get. And the app is phenomenal. We've been testing it, and it's going to come out in phases. And every time we have a new phase launch, so the NFT marketplace will be a second phase or third phase. And it's just going to be more hype for these teams because it's going to generate revenue for the players and the teams. But the app is going to do so much more. It's not going to be just getting paid in crypto. Players will be able to buy and sell crypto just like a conventional app. There's a chat feature on the app that's super cool. Imagine on Telegram right now that you could send your buddy you're talking to, instantly click a button and send them crypto, whatever you want. There's a feature with that. So there's all these things that are going to just make people's lives better and just more functional. And I'm just so excited. I've been telling Dennis every day. I had him speak to a couple owners last night in Innsbruck, Austria, and like they're older guys, and they were just blown away. They're just all they talked about. They messaged me today, thanking me, can't wait for this to come out. And it's exciting stuff. So amazing.
Right, exactly. You know, like we're making it user friendly for these people to start getting into crypto. Like Pat said, and this is I think our biggest feature here, is that none of these guys are going to take their crypto steps, you know, through all these third parties. They're not going to download MetaMask and then, you know, start, you know, staking money on Aave, yield farming protocols. They're not going to go through all these steps, right? They're going to want to have something that they can plug into. And this is where our white label solution comes in. So we take care of all the back end and offer the team, you know, a customized front end. So they have a personalized fan experience and they can, you know, offer the best of crypto with a single app, one-stop shop. And you know, our mission here is really making the adoption happen. We're not inventing anything new here, but we're packaging all the existing, you know, amazing benefits of crypto into a single user-friendly app and giving it to these guys, you know, to integrate on a corporate level. So like Pat was just saying, he's meeting with these guys that are, you know, 50 plus. They'd all heard about those Bitcoins. Yeah, they know that something is coming with crypto, but they wouldn't know where to start, right? So instead of all these teams individually going about developing these blockchain features, you know, and hiring Solidity devs, front-end devs, you know, CTOs, the whole package, and starting a development journey they really have no idea about, we give them something they could instantly plug into. So when these teams, you know, are now hearing about crypto and they have this easy entrance into the crypto space, like we have with the Locker Token app, it is instant adoption. And through Pat, we have access to these people at the very top, right? He's been meeting for the last month and a half with all the GMs and all the owners of the European teams they represent players on, which is, you know, nearly all of them, all of the top teams. And, you know, these guys are excited, right? Like Pat can tell you, you know, they don't talk about much else except for crypto and Locker, because these guys are so excited about having somebody there that understands the space and can give them an intro into it. So everybody wants to be a part of it. We're just making it easy for them to join.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not sure if this might be a question for either one of you, might be more for Pat, but you know, so when you're going out and, you know, you're signing deals, are you signing deals with individual teams or franchises, or are you signing them with, I mean, basically like leagues? Are you targeting leagues, like entire leagues, to take it over and just have a uniform platform where everybody can interact with every team on that league?
Well, that's kind of what we're working with right now. So we're just because we're in the infancy as well. We deal with all the teams in the league. So, like for example, in Germany, the top team's the DEL. In Sweden's the SHL. In Finland's the Liga. In Austria, it's the Ice League. So we know all the people at the top. What I've been doing is kind of talking to all the best teams that I've been dealing with the general managers and presidents. And then once we kind of know, like if we had the funds and we wanted to go out, we could have renamed one of the best arenas in Sweden. They won the world championships there this year, and we could have called it Locker Token Arena. But it was just too early and too fast. But eventually that's the goal, where we're going to have players that want to be paid in crypto and teams that want to pay it in crypto, because you're basically going to wipe out your HR department. You don't need 20 people to do payroll, and all you need is the players' addresses and a click of the button any time of day, 24/7, wherever the player is in the world can have his money right to his wallet. So we're going to integrate all that. The question is going to be how fast the adoption will happen and how quick we get all these. It's going to happen. We know adoption's coming. Everyone that's in the adoption's coming. It's just a question how fast we're going to get everyone to adopt this and use it, because it's a better method for everyone.
Else could spur that adoption.
Oh, there goes.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, you know, what's exactly what Pat just said. that adoption is coming, and nobody is going to have a better position at introducing something like this than somebody who is in Pat's position, you know, representing over 350 players and having direct contact to all these owners and GMs. So, you know, for somebody to start a similar project like we are doing, they would have to have a Pat, right, in another sport, you know, in order to have any kind of competitive edge over us. But we're seeing right now how brand new most of these people still are to crypto. Yeah, they're just starting to hear about Bitcoin, and that's where it ends. So we have a massive advantage by having somebody like Pat that can introduce this to the very top. And from the very top, the change is triggered, right? Now you have the top that has the ability to facilitate, you know, crypto transactions and all these crypto features. And you have players that obviously want to use it because it's a much better system, right? So just to give you one little idea here, we have, you know, automatic yield farm allocation right from the app. So if a player or a team has money sitting in his wallet, you know, without leaving the app, they can allocate it to, you know, a good performing select yield farming protocol and start staking their money without having to leave the app, right? So this makes it really attractive for people to choose and opt into this way because they have access to all of these benefits that they wouldn't have access to prior. So the players will automatically drive the adoption, right? We have hundreds of players that are going to sign up on this, and as they start getting paid and they start showcasing, you know, the features to their friends, well, the next guy is going to want to opt in for it as well. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to talk to his GM or his agent and say, here, I want to get paid on this app too, right? How do you make it happen? So from there on, it's a natural adoption that happens. And since we're, you know, matching the very top with the players' demand, it's bound to be successful.
And we're talking one sport right now because we know hockey because we do these on a global scale in North America, right? Eventually, all those things in North America will adopt, but the other sports will come too because other players in other sports are going to want to be part of this thing. It's just starting in what we know, and it'll evolve. We've already been talking to some people that know people in the soccer industry. Dennis can attest to that, and some people in the baseball industry. And then, of course, you know, football, they're talking about a few different players already that are getting paid in crypto. So we think the possibilities for this it can be global and in every sport.
I mean, yeah, 100%. I mean, I kind of see the same idea there, and certainly see the adoption coming through. Before we dive into like the platform, the nitty gritty of the ecosystem, everything like that, you guys have a huge list of partnerships and ambassadors that you guys have targeted. I see a ton of athletes, actresses. You know, do you guys want to go through a little bit, kind of a highlight of what you guys have onboarded so far, coming to the table with, and then maybe like a little bit about the partnerships and, yeah, like I was saying, the ambassadors.
So I'll talk about the ambassadors real quick. So first, we'll talk about Carol Alt. She's amazing, famous actress. She's filming a Netflix series right now, Cuba Gooding Jr. She's been filming movies and doing this her whole life. And she was so intrigued because she's done movies in Africa. And she's got moved to Italy and then had to go film scenes in London, and all her money was stuck in every country. And she just saw the incredible use case for something like this. And regardless if you're an athlete or not, but when we're just targeting it because it's but anyone can use it for the ease of being paid on the blockchain, right? And any crypto she wants. So she was amazing. She's been so supportive. And then we didn't know, but she's a part owner of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, one of the most famous new franchises in the NHL. So she's super pumped. And one of our ambassadors is Graham McPhee. His father is the president of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, was the general manager with Washington Capitals when they won the Stanley Cup a few years back. Super excited. So it's just a matter of time before we are able to present this to them and say, look, this is what it is and how we're using it. So that's kind of Carol and some of the players. And then famous players like Tyler Seguin with the Dallas Stars, very famous hockey player, big crypto supporter. Was really intrigued about the project. But most of the guys you'll see on there, one way or another, have had real life problems. We've had guys, you know, had to sign power of attorney to taxi drivers in Russia and pray that this guy would go to the bank to wire their money. We've had hockey players that had their money stuck in Europe and couldn't get it out, but had a bank card and allowed $2,000 a day, and they had like 200,000 in the bank. Like literally for 80 straight days, went to the bank machine to take out $2,000, praying that the bank wouldn't cut off his bank card, and literally losing tens of thousands in fees over those 80 days and stacking up cash. Like, it's just stressful stuff. We can name millions and millions of cases. We had one player that was on an AMA the other day. He was in Sweden playing, he got traded. We moved him to Switzerland. He couldn't get to the bank in Sweden fast enough. Then he lost his little pin. 4 years, he's had 60-something thousand stuck in Sweden, couldn't get, still not able to go get it because he has to verify his identity. And the only way the bank will do it is if he flies back to this town, goes in the bank, shows his passport, proves his identity, and then they'll wire the money. Like, crazy stuff, right? So all these use cases and all these players were just like so blown away as they learned about how this could change their lives and make it better. And then, you know, of course, this crazy thing with the war right now, we've got players in Russia, they calling us like crying, lost 40% of their money because the rubles just crashed. The Swift code is banned. They can't get their monies out. Like, just crazy use cases right now that this just proves more validity. That's how it started.
Yeah, and I think just to highlight, if you wanted to, I mean, there's a lot of benefits for the players. You know, obviously they can get their salary, but did you guys want to roll into, because I see the NFT side of this being such a huge part of this project because it's that interaction, right? Like if players buy into it, then it becomes cool because they're the ones with the influence on social media. The teams don't necessarily have the influence. The players kind of have the influence. You know what I mean? Like, and so if they can get out there and really sell this for you, then, I mean, that's just when that adoption just happens even faster. So do you guys want to go into how players can really monetize this? Because, you know, they might not be making the most on the team, but they might be able to get crafty and unique on your marketplace.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
I'll let Dennis explain how it works, but
go ahead.
Yeah, what I foresee happening, you know, I've just been around the game my whole life, and you have to understand the NHL is another animal. The NHL has all these licensing agreements and these different things, so players make millions and millions of dollars. But there's some fantastic hockey players around the world that don't make millions. Yeah, do they make good money? Yes, but they don't make millions, you know? So there always has to be an avenue for them to monetize and make more money. Well, these players are always posting on Instagram and doing certain things for their fans to see, you know, and their families back home and what have you. Whether it's a big goal, celebrating with the trophy, posting these pictures, all these different things, you know. But this is a massive additional revenue stream for all of us involved because it's going to generate taxes on every sale of an NFT, and players will be able to make more money selling the NFTs with the locker token, one of the utilities that the locker token will have. And so imagine a live moment now. Player just plays a game. I'm in Zug tonight. They play Lugano. There'll be 9,000 people here sold out. I'll be at the game. I'll post a picture. But imagine all the players playing the game tonight and some highlights. Right after the game, they can post what just happened, mint it, and the fans that were at the game will be able to go on the Locker app and buy these NFTs at auction, and the revenue goes back to the players. Like amazing moments in time that happen live. That's for the players. The teams will actually be able to do stuff as well. If you're following a pro sports game, they're tweeting out scores and highlights instantly as the game's going on. Now these same people that do this for these teams can now mint an NFT that just happened live. Fans in the crowd can buy that moment in time. So we think the adoption for the NFTs is a massive, massive thing that we haven't even touched. Season tickets, memorable merchandise, all these things that teams can do over time that they have no idea about right now, where I think the NFT marketplace is going to really explode.
100%, right? And our advantage that we bring to all of this compared to other NFT marketplaces that ours are authentic. You know, we can actually authenticate it, saying that, look, this came from the player, right? This is a real NFT. Of course, anybody can mint that game moment, right? But having that game moment minted by the team or by the player that scored the goal, and that brings completely different value to it. So this is where Locker comes in as that first stepping stone for their crypto journey.
Yeah, 100%. And so, like, when it comes to like the feed and how this ecosystem is going to work, I guess let's start with the NFT side of thing and how that's going to impact the ecosystem. And then I'm super curious about like onboarding fees from teams. And I guess we can go into that side of it later. Let's talk about the NFT marketplace. You know, when these create a piece of content and it is then bought by a fan, you know, what's the percentages of taxes and fees going on there?
Okay, we can't put any exact numbers out there yet, but the NFT marketplace under development. Their first feature coming out at April 1st will be the wallet, the chat, and swapping feature, and the staking dash as well. But the NFT marketplace under development. Don't have the exact fees, worked out right now. But it's going to be a self-sustaining ecosystem, right, where it makes sense for people to hold a token, for people to use it. And like Pat was saying, right, this is something that these teams are not even considering at all right now. So what we are bringing to them is just a pure bonus, right? We're making it easy for them to tap into something that they otherwise would be, a year or two away from considering, because it's that mainstream. So we're really, just making it easier for them to get into it. And yeah, it's it's going to be up to the team and the player himself to create value in his collection, in his in his posting. So some people are going to run with this and really build a fan base. They can create additional utility where they can give people rewards for holding their NFTs, for people to start using it. We're basically just giving the tool to the team and to the player to utilize NFTs, right? What they do with it at the end of the day is up to them. We're just providing the infrastructure. So part of our whole business model is white label solutions. So the NFT marketplace, if a team onboards it and pays a subscription for it, they can retheme the front end for a customized experience. So they didn't have to spend 150K on developing a marketplace and all these crypto features. They can just plug into it, and this way you get started. Still offering the same front end, personalized experience, but didn't have to have all this development work on the back end. So we're making it easy for them to get in, and it's going to be up to them how they want to market it and how they want to push it.
Yeah, and this is one, I had one small note, and I don't even know if it's actually a legitimate concern, but if you have somebody on the team, let's say, that's a little bit more financially hungry, and they're a little bit more willing to churn out content, and it kind of dilutes it for the rest of the players, right? Is there going to be any limit or cap, or is that going to be something that's going to be regulated by each individual league? You guys are just basically offering a platform, hands off, I'm here for support kind of a thing, or can you kind of tailor and structure things like that?
No, it's up to the team how they want to run it, right? Of course, we can give them advice and give them a formula, that is, for bound for success. But at the end of the day, it's up to the team to do what they want to do with it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I had a note there because in my head, it's the first thing that popped up when I was reading it. I was like, man, what if there was just that teammate that just churned out stuff and made everybody else's NFTs?
It's getting right. Like, it's really up to them, right? Like chat, Power's thing with the chat function, right? So there's going to be a community there that is constantly interacting. So that chat function, can be used there for fan and player experience as well. So imagine a player, putting his NFT that was just minted from a celebrating moment, popping it into the chat, and letting people auction on it. People are going to build value or not build value in themselves. And that's like anything else, like it is on Instagram or Twitter too, right? Some people go for it, right? And they have a good following. Other people just don't put effort into it, and they don't have the same results. So we're making it possible for these guys to offer, crypto and utilize crypto, but how they want to use it is really up to them on a personal level.
I also see some of the players just minting NFTs for themselves, to have those moments in time and keep them. And yeah, fans will see them and probably be able to bid an auction, but a lot of players just keep some stuff for themselves because it's pretty cool to have an NFT of a moment in time that you can remember forever. So yeah, I think there's all these different things that can happen. But the one cool thing is the locker token. That's what you have to use when you're auctioning this thing. So, the locker token, I'm real excited about it because it's just a cool utility thing to say, I bought it for 100 or 1,000 locker token or whatever it may be at that time, So yeah, all this is it's real neat to see it evolving.
Yeah, I saw that on there for the token itself. It's going to be used as governance, obviously, and then, purchase tickets, merch, other team experiences. And then just loyalty itself to coming back and continuing to use that platform. I thought that was super cool. In terms of, since we've been talking, I think you guys have done an awesome job at kind of describing where the mindset is and what you guys want to build and how you're going to approach it. In terms of the private sale or the initial private sale that still has availability, for anybody listening that might be interested in contributing, how long do they have left until, and then how much more are you guys looking to raise up until launch day?
So what we'll do is people can message us directly. I'm going to post in our chat here right now the contacts for us that dealing with the callers. You guys can get in touch with. People can reach out and see what's available there. The allocations are small allocations, right? It's not really anything massive, but it's enough to get your foot in the door and get a taste of the project and have personal involvement to have skin in the game. So like I said, we're not giving this out for the general public, but for people that have an impact in the industry and can partner with us here for the long term. So we'll post the contacts in the chat here right now, and people can reach out.
I figure we may as well just cast that net out there. We have a bunch of people listening in. Who knows who's in here? So awesome stuff, guys.
Right on.
So
it's one thing to really note on this here, that this is not your average project, right? This is something that has a long-term vision. This is something that can plug itself into, a big picture. You can plug yourself into a big picture, and by buying the locker token, you're actually part owner of the app, of the project itself. So a big thing in our business model is to make this a decentralized, autonomous organization, because it is, targeting a global industry. So we want to make this globally accessible and not have a bias for, a specific nation or ownership behind it, right? So this way, everybody can get involved. Doesn't matter if you're a team in China, in the States, or in Russia or in Europe. You're able to join this because you know that you are sharing ownership with everybody else. So as we start onboarding teams, like we have agreements with a few of them already in place that we've made custom deals with, or specialized deals. But for people in the private rounds or on the launch here, March 28th, they're going to get a chance to buy locker tokens ahead of the masses. And I'm talking about masses. I'm not meaning the masses in crypto, and traders, but the masses of teams and players, or teams especially, that are going to have to buy locker token in order to join the DAO, which will then give them ability to retheme the front end. So they have to buy themselves in with a significant stake in order to have the customizability. So people that are joining this launch now are able to get ahead, of serious mainstream adoption. So it's an incredible opportunity because it's for the long term. You don't really have to check the chart here and hope that the project is still doing its hype. You just need to know that as long as the crypto industry keeps onboarding, the sports industry keeps onboarding crypto or keeps getting involved in crypto, our project will have success.
Yeah. When you were speaking about that long-term approach, I did happen to note down you guys have a team vesting of a total of 48 months. Their vesting schedule is right there on their investor deck, I believe, guys. So if you guys want to go check it out and kind of see how they've structured it. Now, I did notice one thing that I always note when I'm going through is, so initial liquidity locked is for 6 months, right?
Yes. So there might be some changes coming to that just because we want to bridge over to BSC. So there might be some minor adds coming to that, but yes, we have full intentions of growing a fat liquidity pool to make it attractive for big buys coming in.
Awesome stuff. Okay, let's go through the roadmap really quick. I'm gonna stop hogging up the microphone and let the community.
Just one thing to add real quick. Not sure if you guys in the investor deck here, there might still be older tokenomics. We just recently changed them favorably for the community, favorably for the investors. So we've actually decreased team allocation further. We have put more funds into the liquidity pools because we have a lot of exchange listings planned. I'm just gonna pop that into our community chat here right now as well. For those that want to check it out, it's pinned there as well. So we've fine-tuned the tokenomics further with more benefits for the community and token holders.
Awesome stuff. Let's go over a little bit. Let's do a real high level overview of kind of the roadmap. You mentioned that in April the platform is going to be live in beta. Was that right?
Correct.
And then in terms of what's popping off after the release of that, it's going to probably roll more into the marketing side from what people can see in the community. So, in terms of the marketing, I see that you have Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, banner ads all over the place, and obviously those pro athlete connections through that marketing agency. Do you want to elaborate a little bit more on kind of your approach, your mentality, and how you're going to attack the market once that thing goes live?
Yeah, we have massive things lined up. For example, April 1st, Pat's going to be on Fox News in the Clam Countdown. It's national TV. That same show hosted Brad Garlinghouse from Ripple's XRP a couple of weeks ago. So So you get an idea for the marketing that we're aiming for. It's not based on the traditional hype within the space, even though we are utilizing that. We're aiming for real business, for real media coverage, for real news, because we have real newsworthy stuff going on, right? As this app, gets utilized by players and teams, this is something to write about. This is an exciting moment for crypto, right? Because billions of dollars in the sports industry are now finding an easy way to onboard, right? We have fiat partners for smaller amounts for retail people, but we can also facilitate millions of dollars in a single transaction through our fiat partners in Europe. So it's an amazing opportunity for people because they're plugging into something for the big picture. So our marketing is aiming big. We have influencers in place from the crypto side, but we also have, a massive network of sports ambassadors that are going to join us on Twitter Spaces. We have a Twitter Space on Sunday and on Monday lined up. We're going to have 30 of our ambassadors in each segment. So collectively, you're targeting millions of followers that are now getting an entrance into crypto, and a majority of their followers are relatively new to crypto. So we're able to get a whole different crowd of holders and community members through them, right? That all have heard of crypto, but now they have, their stars endorsing it and having, a reason to get into it, and they're getting a taste for it. I think there's a big thing that we're going to move here with this project.
Yeah, and I'm kind of curious about this one. I had Isaac pop in with a question he just sent in. He says, do you guys have any plans for the metaverse, arena, sporting activities? And it kind of had me thinking, is this going to be very focused on just fine-tuning the platform and what you guys, the white label solution, like you guys were saying, for teams? Or are you guys going to kind of put your feelers out to different areas of the crypto space like the metaverse?
Of course, right? And 100%. And this is where it all starts, right? Like, we are the starting point for these players and teams' journey into crypto. So we are the validation that says, yep, this is the team, right? And this is their official address, and this is, their actual career in the metaverse. So we are able to facilitate that. We are the first stepping stone for their crypto journey. And that is going to go as far as metaverse and everything that keeps coming up, right? The industry is growing, it's moving fast. And the easiest way for these teams to stay up to date is by plugging into, a single app that keeps offering the best of blockchain. So this is where we do, our locker token that will keep growing, and these teams have the ability to have plugged into that and grow with it, instead of all having individual teams that have to stay up to date with the newest things. So yes, metaverse is there. We have a partner in fantasy sports, UFF Sports. They have a big project going on, with thousands of people in their community, trading, fantasy sports. So there's a lot of stuff that we're doing with metaverse already, where we're giving, access to players, to facilitators. So yeah, we have our feelers out for all of it and have big plans to integrate us everywhere.
Yeah, I think you have a ton of fun with that one. And it kind of goes into it.
What these guys can do, right? It's a whole second career these guys have access to, so it's very attractive.
Yeah, just because I know that people are starting to move over, right? Like, I know that big players are starting to move over into big exchanges. It's just becoming more and more accepted and adopted, like you guys have been saying. Chirag came in with a question about your partnership. So he says various F1 teams have onboarded with crypto exchanges and influencers this season as sponsors. Are you guys close to onboarding anyone in the F1 driver or motorsports driver in general arena?
We haven't yet. A friend of mine is involved with McLaren Racing, and I told him as soon as we get this app, we're going to make sure that we pitch it to them, to give them, basically an introduction into the crypto space. He's an older guy, and he really doesn't understand it, but it's again, it's just a whole new market for people. But that would be our goal. We want to get into every sport: golf, F1, tennis, like all these individual sports as well. Just think about how much they could use the NFT marketplace for their own personal reasons. So that's our goal. We're not limited to anything. We want to be in everything. We're only saying hockey because that's what we knew. We represent so many players and coaches and managers and teams that's what we knew. But we know that once we get in and this is going, that all these areas will be able to get on board.
Very good stuff. Let me see here. Let's go ahead and get Fabulous Jim. I got you unmuted. I saw you right there. I'm going to kind of break it up, guys. I'm going to send you some voice ones. I'm going to send you some ones that they're sending in to me. I was just kind of reading through and making sure we hadn't already answered it or gone over it. But Fabulous Jim, I got you unmuted.
Hello?
Hello?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. I am very, very much concerned about security. And I know for so many people, security has to do with getting the smart contract addicted and all that for people to feel, yeah, it's safe to invest in this project and all that. And so you see so many people maybe even going the extra mile, putting $40,000 to $50,000 to get a static audit, which I know you guys will eventually do, because I saw that you also deciding to do that. That is beautiful. But I also see security in a different light, and it has to do with the solidarity of the team, how committed the team is when it comes to the project. Those who make up the members of the team, they had voted, they have the same goal, the same ambition and interest and all of that. I see that in that light, because even if you throw $50,000 in a static audit and the community, the team, they are not committed to the project, they're eventually just going to abandon the project, and that will bring a lot of loss to investors and all that. So this is important to me. And I've seen so many team, they are being picked from their members. They just met each other from the TG and all that. They don't really know themselves that well. And so when there is an internal issue, it is usually difficult for them to settle it amicably and also remain focused in their goal of making the token a success. So I want to ask, who are your team members? How did you guys meet? How long have you been working together? Do you trust each other that much to the point where nothing can actually distract you from reaching your goals, even when there is a problem among the all of you and all that?
Great question. You know, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't trust each other. We wouldn't be doing this if we didn't think that there's incredible benefit here for everybody involved, right? So 100%, you're speaking, you know, you're addressing a very big concern in the industry, because like you said, people, you know, just do meet randomly. But this is bigger than, you know, a Telegram chat. This is bigger than, you know, two people just hashing out an idea and talking about, you know, what we could possibly do, right? Like this is real business. So we're already doing what we normally do. You know, Pat is doing what he's normally doing, which is dealing with the industry. Now he's just offering them a better product, right? So nothing is new here. Nothing is speculative. Everything is already taking place. When it comes to your question regarding contract audits, yes, we have contacts to Certic. We can get stuff fast tracked. We have contacts with Hacken. We can get stuff fast tracked. We are, you know, thinking right now whether we should do the audit just for the token contract and then get the app itself, the smart contract for the app itself, audited separately later. I do hear you. You know, it has a good public perception if you launch with your token contract audited. So it's going to be a high quality audit that comes with it. The question would just be if it's the token contract first and then the app separate, or if we just do the app when we bring it out. The nice thing about the app is that our wallet right here is a non-custodial wallet. So it's the same features as MetaMask, but the Locker token app, you can create your own seed phrase. So the funds are actually never held on the Locker app. It is, you know, on the respective blockchain. So the security there, you know, is as good as the security of the network that you're using. We're able to integrate Bitcoin, you know, which is nice. So we have access to the Ethereum network, Binance Smart Chain, Tron, Bitcoin. So yeah, we basically just provide the access to it, and security is as good as it gets. Just to add one thing to this, the guys that are developing this, they've been around from Ethereum ICO days, right? So these guys have massive experience in the space, Solidity devs with as much experience as you can gather. So it's in great hands in that regards. And we had to partner with high caliber individuals like that, because the project is too big to have any errors. So yeah, we're putting all the best things together.
Awesome stuff. Yeah, I mean, Kim came in with a question too. She just wrote it in and said, in terms of the DAO governance, will there be an actual DAO governance portal where holders get to vote and make decisions on the project based on holding, or how do you guys envision the DAO setup?
Yeah, that's how it will be, right? So in the beginning, it's hard to grow a project or a company if you have, the DAO structure already in place. So in the beginning, us as individuals are setting up the business. But as soon as the business is functioning and it is rolling and fulfilling itself, we are going to transfer ownership of the app into the DAO. So the app itself is owned and governed by the community holders. So if there's updates that have to be made to the smart contract, it is subject to approve it. And of course, it's going to be teams that had to buy themselves in with a large stake that are going to be, majority holders, but it is in their interest, right? So that's why they had to put, 100K of tokens on the table in order to white label, the whole thing. So yes, somebody like that is going to have a bigger say than the next guy, but he also has a bigger interest in it. So it is a way for fans to become part owners, in their favorite team. And it is really going to be the teams that have the largest stake because of their high buy-in costs to utilize it, which those buy-in costs are still significantly cheaper than developing it themselves, right? So if for 100K you can access all of these features, or you have to, hire 3 Solidity devs, front end, full stack guys and CTO, and you have a payroll of 50K a month, and you're going to be getting into something you don't know. It's much more attractive to just buy yourself into something that is ready to go. So our point of entry is still much lower, and it's an easy way for the teams to get in. So the teams are going to be the DAO, or the biggest stakeholders in the DAO.
Awesome. I think that was a great explanation. Leo, I got you unmuted if you wanted to throw him a question.
Thanks, Amigo. Considering that independent athletes will mint NFTs inside your platform, and they may end up using photos or videos of teams that they no longer work or have any partnership, how are you planning to deal with copyright and image rights matters inside your platform?
Well, for the most part in Europe, the players are not, there's not unions like the PHPA or the NHLPA in North America. Here in Europe, players basically own their own rights when they're playing for a team for the most part. So if they're posting pictures of themselves, they have the rights to those pictures, so that we don't really have those issues. Could that change down the road? Could things change? Sure, things always evolve. But we'll have to find avenues to work with the leagues and the teams. As if players are making too much money, teams might want to be involved and start licensing them and stuff like that. But again, it's revenue streams for the teams and the players, and I think it's just a win-win overall.
Hope that answers your question, Leo. Appreciate you hopping on. Maxie, I got you unmuted. Maxie, if you had a question for the team. Maxie, you might just have to hit that button. All right, Justin comment, I got you unmuted.
Okay,
Justin,
thank you so much.
there.
Can I ask a question?
Yep, we can
Hello,
hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. So my question is, do you have a user referral or ambassador program that we can use to bring in new users? What are the several ways that your project make income revenue? And what is the revenue model? How might it assist both the investors and your project in a win situation? Thank you so much.
A good question there. So definitely there is, rewards for ambassadors. We appreciate the people that are early involved and that are spreading the good news about the project. So feel free to DM us, and we can give you a referral link and track your invites to the Telegram users. More than happy to have you there. Regarding the revenue for the app, the app is gonna it's a service app, right? So there's going to be fees for utilizing it. So when a player, when a team, utilizes it to do payroll, when a team utilizes it for, the various services, there's going to be fees associated with it. They're going to be significantly less than the traditional way, the traditional system. But yes, there's going to be fees associated with it to use the app, service fees. So that's the one, continuous income. Then on the other side, there's going to be royalties off of NFTs, right? That the locker token will get as the project that facilitates it. And then there will be, small, or there'll be new growth, new add-ons to the project, in regards to tokens, right? So if, for example, a team wants to create its own token, we're going to have the ability for teams to create their own fan tokens, through a smart contract we have right on the app. So they put in their functions and they deploy their own tokens. So we allow them to create, their own independent ecosystem within the Locker token app. So from there, fans can further plug themselves into and support their favorite team, start staking tokens towards that team, and benefiting from the revenue that team then generates. So as these teams grow their career and these players grow their career in the crypto space, you as an investor can support them and then benefit from the long-term gains that team or player has. For example, like Socios fan tokens, right? Like Socios creates some tokens, gives the team some, and they hold on to the rest, right? Versus, here, where it's the other way around, to give, a majority to the team and say, here you go. This is your journey now in crypto. And yes, we're going to take, reflections off of that. But it's going to be, new ecosystems created within the Locker app.
Awesome stuff. Justin, I was giving you a shot to see if we can get the mic working for you, Justin, if you wanted to hop on and ask them a question. Justin, you just got to hit that mute button.
I'm actually part of the team. I have a question. How can I give all of my money to this amazing project right now? That's it. No, we were having power issues in Costa Rica. I had a problem getting in and out. But I'm happy to be here, and obviously Pat and Dennis are doing a great job answering all these questions. But I'm here now for anything else that falls in our way.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sounds good. Glad to have you on the panel here to field these things. Ziggy, I got you unmuted if you had a question.
Hello. So I DM'd you my question, General Gollum. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep, I can. Let me see here. Let's see here. So Ziggy's question was, how do they actually plan on getting players involved? It might sound easy in theory, but in reality, actually getting a player that you'll convince to invest in your project with Okay, so yeah, I think that's where
it is that easy. This is where Pat comes in, right? Like, this is not something that we're saying, oh, we're gonna, once we launch and we have, marketing funds available, we're gonna go get a star. Like, no. We have hundreds of players that are going to be using this app, right? They're not using it because we're telling them, we're gonna give them, whatever money to say this one time, and then, we retweet that. No. These players are coming to us with a need, with an improvement, with a need for improving the current ways, right? And this project was born out of the necessity to facilitate a better way. So crypto really comes here as the savior. We're not using the stars to hype a crypto project. We're using crypto to give these stars a better way to operate. And this is where we have this incredible competitive advantage through having somebody like Pat, that is the biggest agent for hockey in Europe, and represents the majority of the players. He's the only licensed U.S. agent in Russia. So incredible, benefit.
There's not just me. We have my partners on board that'll be onboarding teams once we get going here. We've got my partner in Russia, partner in Germany, partner in the UK. Like, we're covered all the markets, so it's not just me. We have a whole group. Our group, we've been Optimal World Sports has been representing hockey players for over 25 years. So we have a massive reach, and that's the goal. We want to make it better. We saw a need. We saw something that needs to be fixed, and this fixes it. And all the other stuff, the NFTs, the staking, the yield farming, the smart contracts that will all be on the app, that's all the bonus. We saw the need for the crypto ability in the blockchain and crypto to fix what we've been dealing with for years, and players and their families and lives. Do you know the stress when a team loses out? Got a father, wife, the father's a hockey player, got 3 kids and a dog, and they got to fly home to Canada from Switzerland on a Tuesday, and they got to get to a bank somehow on Monday and stress to make sure that money's wired, or else they're not going to have money to pay their bills. If the money was done on the blockchain and paid to their app every month, they'd never have to walk into a bank or worry about those kind of things anymore. And these are what we're going to provide. And that's why I'm so motivated for this project, to make people's lives better, not having players and their families stress on how they're going to get their money. Imagine earning money and your stress is, how am I going to get my money that I just earned? We want to eliminate that forever. Sorry, that's my rant.
Yeah, it's so good though. It's so true, right? Which is amazing.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially having that real world experience
already there, right? Like, a lot of we're that's what saying earlier. We're not the average team or the average project that is using these stars to hype something down the road. Like, these stars want to use crypto, right? And the more we introduce them to it, the more validation we get every day, right? Like Pat say, team in Austria sitting down with the presidents and GMs at dinner, and all they talk about is locker and crypto, right? Because it's exciting. Like, the benefits are incredible, right? When Pat was telling me the story the other day, he's sitting down with another owner, I'm not sure what team he said it was, but showing him the speed of a transaction, right? Of sending money via MetaMask. This guy was freaking out, right? He's 60 years old. Like, this is incredible, right? Like, he's telling me I can send millions of dollars here in for 10 cents, and it's going to cost me nothing. And be instant. So it's incredible. Once people start seeing this, they start realizing, wow, you can get paid 10% APY on dollars held in the yield farming protocol. It's incredible, right? So nobody's going to go back to the legacy system once they get a taste for crypto. We just have to make the adoption user friendly, and that's where we're at, right? We're an adoption project.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of see that.
There.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Justin wanted to jump in there. I don't know. He said his mic was muted or something.
Yeah. Have him raise his hand again. Just my bad, man. There was a ton of feedback coming off of your mic. I'm so sorry. I just did it really quick so they could finish. But Justin, I got you unmuted again.
Sorry. Thank you.
You're good. Michael, I got you unmuted if you wanted to ask the team a question.
Okay. Good day, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, hear you. How are you?
Okay, I'm fine. Thank you very much. I'm actually a footballer, and I'm really, really, really interested in the project. My mind is almost blowing right now. So, I really want to ask, literally, as a rising star now, how can I possibly build my portfolio, maybe to become a pro player in your ecosystem? Is it possible for you guys to maybe promote me and help me so that other teams in the world will get to know about me using your platform? Is that possible?
Are you a player? Are you an athlete? Or sorry, I didn't hear that.
A footballer actually.
Football. There you go. You know what? Shoot us a DM. There's no question about it. Let's have a chat. We're chatting right now already with soccer teams.
So it's possible. It's actually possible that.
Yeah, here. Send me.
So it's possible for me to maybe build my portfolio.
What you saying? You're a football player, right? Is that how I understood it?
Yes. So I want to know whether it's possible for me to build my portfolio using your platform.
What kind of portfolio? Sorry, I'm misunderstanding you, I think.
Maybe for other teams to know me, or maybe to get a better signing into the bigger leagues, something like that.
Like, for example, what he's saying is that he sees an opportunity in the product for himself to promote himself by being able to publish his NFTs. So as we as a company are going to be, you know, vouching and accrediting all of the athletes that sign up, and that's going to be part of the authentication of the NFTs. So as an amateur athlete or as an athlete on his way to going pro, I mean, we have a lot that we can work with you. When you work with your agents, when you work with your teams, when you work with your signings in the future, you know, asking to be paid in crypto is great for us. And, you know, we could potentially have an amateur division or a, you know, like on the route to pro athlete division that we could authenticate as well. I mean, that's definitely an angle that we haven't thought about yet in reality, but it's a very good angle to talk about, helping up and coming athletes have an NFT market to help make themselves get bigger, and it's an interesting angle.
Okay, thank you very much. That's exactly my question. Thank you very much.
Yes, right on. And DM us, write us, right? Let's have a chat.
Great stuff, Michael. Appreciate it. Guys, I'm getting the nudge right now from the big guys up top. This has been awesome, super informative. You guys are doing something absolutely unique in the space. I just wanted to see if you guys wanted to maybe close us out with a little bit of something about the project with the upcoming launch. Maybe drop a little bit of hype in before we have to close it down.
Yeah, 100%. Pat, give us your energy.
Bring it, Pat. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm so excited here. I truly believe there's going to be some NHL stars, some more teams. Our goal is to, you know, every couple weeks announce a major club, a major player, a major celebrity, major improvement to the platform, major addition to the platform, like always continually with this stuff. And to eventually the greatest hype of all, we want to create our own blockchain. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, Dennis, but I want to tell everyone I'm so excited where the Locker token will have its own blockchain, and that's going to be our goal. And it's going to be super amazing, guys.
Right. We're building a piece of infrastructure here, right? This is something that is going to bridge the gap between adoption and the incredible blockchain features we have access to. So if you get yourself into this project right now, pre-launch, you are literally forming the foundation of sports in crypto. So I know we're going to be successful 1000% because we have such an incredible competitive advantage through our entrance into the Pro Sports League on a global scale with Pad and Optimal World Sports. From there on, it's automatically going to connect over to the other sports because athletes at that level are all connected with each other. They're all buddies, right? When you are talking top tier pro leagues. So the adoption is going to be happening fast. We're getting that validated almost every single day here of players reaching out to us saying they want to be ambassadors, of players saying they want to get involved. The teams are giving us validation every single day that this is something they want to opt into and start utilizing. So adoption is on the horizon. We're making it easy for them to get in. March 28th is our launch. So for your listeners that are here today, it is something that they can get into before the masses know. And when I say the masses, I also mean teams themselves that are going to buy tokens in large quantities in order to use the app and get in. So this is something that you can really plug yourself into and be part of for the rest of your life. Because as long as crypto and sports keep going, or as long as sports keep going, our platform will have use case and our platform is going to grow and expand. So we all know that blockchain is the future of digital interaction. We're making that bridge to the sports world, and it's your chance to get in on March 28th. Uniswap, follow our channels. We're going to put the exact posting time in there, and get ready to join something massive. Thanks for everybody.
Thank you
guys rock
so much. This was awesome, guys. Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks everybody for coming.
We'll send a Twitter out.
Yeah, really appreciate you guys hopping on. Awesome to hear from you. Like I said, great explanations, great answers. We had a lot of good questions come in today. It was awesome just to learn more about how this is all how you guys are gonna pull this off. I mean, just to be blunt, because it's a big plan, but it's very you guys have the tools to make it successful. So I'm super excited to see everything get turned online and just your success in the future.
It's in the bag, so we got a big one.
Awesome. Well, best of luck, guys, on the upcoming launch.
Guys.
One more thing to add on is you guys can win 3K you guys can win 3K. We're giving away 3K in Ethereum. The 3 lucky winners, $1,000 each. Check it out on our Telegram. All you have to do is follow us on Twitter, invite a friend, and join our Telegram group. And on launch day, we're gonna pick 3 people, give them $1,000 each. Those of you that are callers or have influence in the space, DM us. We have some we can get you involved with. So looking forward to welcoming you all on board. Reach out anytime. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice weekend, everybody.
Thanks so much, everyone.
Thanks, Justin. At LockerToken_chat, locker-token.com is where you can find a little bit more of their info. Like you said, he's got some big giveaways going on. Jump in there, throw your name in the hat and see if you can get lucky, be one of those big winners. But guys, that does it for today's show. Absolute pleasure to have the entire team on of Locker Token and learn more about how they're going to pull off this super innovative idea. They are definitely set up for a successful launch, and it'll be awesome to watch how they turn everything online from their platform to their connections and everything that they've established thus far, and gain more and more traction on acquiring different teams and leagues. We'll be announcing the winners of the giveaway soon and invite you to jump on Twitter, give us a follow, and dive into our incredible community on there. And also grab your chance at some exclusive giveaways. That's at GollumsGems on Twitter. Join us again in just a few hours, but until then, have a great day.
Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thanks.